Test, microphone, test.
Eye is looking to.
Alright guys, welcome back to once again another live stream here on the Speed Force Racing YouTube channel. I'm gonna be your commentator tonight. My name is Phoebe Thomas, as you will be able to see down here and also later. Yeah, it's gonna be my first stream here tonight on the Speed Force Racing YouTube. And hopefully I can entertain you guys a little bit. It will be quite exciting having my first race here for Speed Force Racing. Some of you might know me already from the King of Leagues event, where a couple of guys probably have participated in. It was a great event. Speed Force did pretty well, so congratulations to you. But let's go straight over to the introduction, as we had a last race. Well, last week we didn't have a race, unfortunately, as the PlayStation servers were not that great. But the week before we had Canada. Katsikas was the leader there. He won the race. And then the Bear came in P2 and the V-Car came in P3. So congratulations to you three for getting on the podium in Canada. Canada is definitely a difficult track. But today we are going to be racing in Great Britain with a population of 67 million people. So that's quite a lot. The first Grand Prix ever held was in 1950, and the last winner of this Grand Prix in this league was Liam H9, as he is not in the league anymore. The qualifying record is 125.5, and the race record is 128.2. That is set by a racing league I stream for on Thursdays, and hopefully these guys are going to be able to beat that. Now, let's have a quick look at the track layout, of course, as there's nothing... Why is nothing showing? That is interesting. Why is nothing showing? Oh, there we go. All right. So in Sector 2, I think this is entering Sector 2. You've got a long DRS straight entering turn 6 and 7, as turn 6 is a long left-hander. And you're coming in a little bit of a U-turn of turn 7. And then, of course, you've got turn 8 and the well-known Cops Corner in turn 9, if I'm not mistaken, where, of course, Max and Hamilton crashed in 2021. Max Verstappen got put into the wall right there. But turn 9 is quite an interesting corner to make a move on. I feel like in 2023, well, the game, you are really going to be able to make it work. There's a lot of runaway room around the exit. So, yeah, you're really going to be able to make that work. And then, of course, you've got Meggetts and Beckett's turn 15 right here after a little bit of a long DRS straight. And then, of course, you're entering Sector 3, where you do need a lot of wings to be able to make it through this fast couple of corners. So that is going to be that. I still have to get those settings right for some reason. Now let's go straight over to the strategy. The safeguard probability is quite high here. You know, Silverstone is always a high risky track where you got Sector 1, which is quite risky. Sector 2, with Turn 9 being Cop's Corner, quite risky. Then you've got Maggots and Baggots being quite risky, which is also in Sector 2. Then in Sector 3, I feel like Sector 3 is a little bit of a alright one. You can't really crash out except for Turn 15, the last corner of the... No, that's not Turn 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, if I'm not mistaken, or 18. Where you're going to have bad exit coming out of that corner, and then you're going to spin into the wall, of course. But seeing the tire degradation rate and tire overheating probability being quite high, I would suggest to go for a medium hard or a hard medium. Medium soft could work too, or even maybe a soft medium. But tonight it is going to be a short qualifying, a sprint race, and a 50% race. Now these are the standings for tonight. We've got Surge in P1 with 185 points. My apologies if I pronounced that wrong. We've got the Vicar in P2 trailing by about 33 points, and then Energy Dan coming in third. He is trailing by about 45 points. So the top three is quite close, and we've got a close battle for P4 with Mad G in P4 with 120 points, and a couple of guys right behind him with 116 points being Adams, Idams, and Utkarsh. And then we've got in P7, 8, 9, and 10. Quite close following too. Surge is fine. Amazing. Apologies, buddy. Alpine is leading the constructors with quite a lot of points, so that is great for the Alpine team. Something I haven't seen that many times before, being Alpine in the P1. Neither have I seen AlphaTauri in the top 3 in many leagues. So congratulations to those three, as it is a close battle for P2 and P4, as Mercedes and Aston Martin both have 199 points. And then, of course, AlphaTauri and Red Bull only separated by 1 point. Now, let's go straight over to the race. I hope this is fine. Sai, can you have a quick look? Is it fine here? Because I was planning on doing it there in the top corner. Like, I'm not able to see it. Thank you, Oliver. Really appreciate it. And then the logo right there, I think it's quite fine. You will be able to see everything from screen. So I'm just going to switch over to the game real quick. And then, of course, we will be ready to race, to rock and roll here in Silverstone. And let's go straight over to the track map. There's a lot of guys on track already. The Bear being on a fast lap. He had this fast second sector, but we're quite well, the game is quite known for not working properly every now and then, as the second sector is always going to be a little bit of a pain in... Wait, I cannot swear. Of a pain in the toe. A pain in the toe. There we go. The Bear with that green car. Beautiful car coming through Maggots and Baggots right now, as he needs a good exit coming through turn 14 to be able to use a lot of straight line speed here. I mean, he can't really use it, but he gets it from getting out of that corner quite nice. Into turn 15, long right-hander right now. Needs to take a lot of curb on the exit, and then he will be able to come into turn 16 and 17 quite smoothly here, as he needs to go not too fast onto the throttle, as of course if you go fast onto the throttle here in sector 3, this was the corner I was talking about. If you go onto the curb on the entry there into the last corner, you will be able to, I mean, you're probably going to spin out into the wall there in the start finish straight, of course. Now entering turn 3, that is here, as the red car on the inside, on the outside corner there actually goes nicely to the side, as I think the Bear is going for another lap. He put himself in P2 already, but did he save some ERS? Good question. Let's go back to Doran, currently coming across the line to put a 127.6, as you might want to have a quick look if anyone is on a good lap. It seems like Utkarsh really is, as he currently put the fastest first sector here. Now into second sector, as he's coming around Cop's corner in a couple of seconds. Here we go. Needs to take a lot of curb on the exit. In the entry too, if you take a lot of curb in the entry there, you will be able to I mean, you will be able to have that exit quite better. You know, if you're not touching the curb there on the inside into turn 9, you're gonna run wide into the exit, and you might invalidate your lap. Depends on how you come back on track. If you cut the whole corner, you're not gonna get invalidated, but if you come back onto the track, crossing the curb, you will be invalidated, unfortunately. Now, Utkar in P15, he's gonna be, well, he's probably gonna be in the top 5 or in the top 10, because pretty fast right now. Fastest lap for Utkarsh, as he put a 126.6 on track right now. The guys are all running F1 World Cars, because obviously the game is a pain in the toe. And then, of course, I mean, if the game is being like this, we have to make changes. And the guys have done that quite nicely here, choosing F1 World Cars, because the performance issues haven't been solved yet. I expect that to be solved within the next week. But of course, it's not nice for league owners and leagues in general to have to run F1 World Cars, because everyone is, of course, running their Constructors Championship. And I do think that, you know, going into the Constructors Championship, these guys are still going to get points for their Constructors. But it's not nice racing in F1 World Cars, because obviously you're not able to, well, the commentator, me, myself, is not able to name every car by the name. Of course, right now I have to run this guy being the red car instead of, for example, the Ferrari car, because obviously he's not running the Ferrari. And then, of course, I mean, MCFC, he's quite a familiar face. Where did I see him? He's running that F1, well, the original F1 World Car with the red and with the black and the yellow here. As he's coming through Maggots and Baggots, seems to be a little bit of a struggle here for the. I think he's English. I feel like I've seen this guy already before. I don't know where from. Huh. I need to do some research on that, guys. Coming into turn 15 right now. He's right behind the red car, as that is obviously going to be Mansell as a MCFC. Coming around the last couple of corners to come across the line to set his first time here in the qualifying. Mansell, who puts himself in P1 right now with a 126.6. MCFC is going to put himself in P7. Now, having a quick look at the back of the grid, being Bossy Gaming, the only one who hasn't put a lap in yet. And British guy putting a 145.6 isn't amazing. Do think he's going to be able to improve a little bit here. Bossy Gaming, who had a little bit of a snap there, coming into turn 15. Now touching a lot of curb on the entry there. As he's flying past these corners, it's probably going to be a top 10 position, as we're with 70 people in the lobby tonight. Bossy Gaming puts himself in a P14. Now let's have a quick look with Mindful Wasp, as he's coming down this DRS straight, entering Sector 3. And of course, I mean, if you've got a pretty fast Sector 2, you're almost secured of a top 5 position. Most people struggle in Sector 2, as Mindful Wasp is now coming into the pits. But as I said, most people are struggling in Sector 2, maybe Sector 1. So if you've got a pretty good sector in Sector 1 and Sector 2 already, you are almost secured of a P5, P4, a P3, a P2, a P1. And I'm pretty sure Mansell is that type of guy who puts low wings in. High wings, my apologies. High wings for being faster into the corners. Because high wings is going to give you a lot of speed in Sector 1. It's going to give you a lot of speed in Sector 2. You might lose a lot of time in Sector 3 due to being two fairly quite long straights, you know. Coming out of Maggots and Baggots, of course. But if you've got a lot of wings, you will fly through Maggots and Baggots, basically. Also Sector 1, which you've got turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... and then maybe 8, depends on how you come out of turn 7. You will be flying through there too. You will lose a lot of time down the straights, but I feel like running 30 and then 25 wings here in Silverstone is the perfect way to go. I'm not a setup guru. Is that a word? I feel like it is a word. Setup guru. I'm not a setup guru. I don't know many things of setups. I do know when to run high wings or low wings, and I feel like in some cases you need to run low wings in order to be able to keep the guys behind you and not let them pass you on the straights. For example, tracks like NFS on a lap. Let's go with NFS real quick. I have no idea who is on a fast. I mean, I don't know who is fast in this league. So NFS currently with a 127.5 as he's coming through Cop's corner. He's got that yellow car right in front of him, but he is going to the side, and nicely done there from who's the yellow car? Probably the bear. Although he's not the bear. I thought it was Wiggles. Is he do? Oh, it's going to be Surge. All right. Let's drive on board with NFS as he's coming down this long straight right now. He's got the fast second sector, so that is great already. Touches a lot of curb on the exit there. On the entry, my apologies. Exit 2. And that is going to be a pretty decent lap from the blue car runner. Not touching a lot of curb on the entry there. I feel like that is a little bit of a mistake, as he has a little bit of a snap there. Touches a lot of curb on the entry. That is a risk, as NFS puts himself in P3, a 126.8 for the blue car runner. As I'm quickly going to get I think I'm gonna get the standings on real quick, just to see what cars they are running. NFS, where is he in the standings? He's in the McLaren. All right, he's a McLaren car runner, and that is a pretty decent lap there. Calvin Racing also on a fast lap now, entering sector 2 in a couple of seconds. But as I said, you know, running low wings, you will be able to keep the guys behind you through the corners, because the chance someone is gonna overtake you through the corners is less likely than people overtaking you down the straights with DRS, with ERS, whatever. So if you're able to keep your man down the straights, you're definitely going to be holding them up longer than you are if you're running high wings. Of course, if you're running high wings, I feel like it's easier to make a move through the corners. But yeah, I mean, it's just whatever you prefer. Whatever you prefer. I'm currently on board with Calvin Racing, as he's got a blue car right in front of him. That was quite dangerous there from, I think that was Energy Dan, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that maybe still NFS on an in-lap? Calvin Racing now, a driver who has participated in King of Leagues, as he's now coming around turns 16 and 17. 18 is going to be the last corner here in Silverstone, as he comes across the line to put a fastest lap on the board, a 126.6, as he is only 1,000 away from Mensel's time. So that is definitely going to be a great battle for the race win here tonight. As you can see, the guys are having a lot of similar pace here around Silverstone. Probably running the same setup could be a thing. But looking at Serge right now, as he is in P5, coming across the line as he puts the fastest lap on 126.3. As you can definitely see, the track is heating up. I'm not too sure. I could answer that question in the chat, guys. I'm not too sure if that was a positive question or a negative question. Guys, for the guys not watching in the chat, I'm just gonna repeat what he says. He said, "Hey, Sash, Sai, is he permanently commentating on this division?" Now, how I could see that is, oh, is he permanently commentating on this division? Ew. You know, that's how you can see it. But you could also see it as, oh, Sai, is he permanently commentating on this division? You know, like, it could be positive or negative. I will be commentating twice a month, every other week. As, of course, if I'm still doing great, you know, if the guys still want me. But I feel like it's been going pretty well already. The Vicar currently on a lap. He's going wide as he invalidates right there. He was on a fast lap. Because the visuals are awesome. Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Really appreciate it. Keed, 5 place grid penalty. Collision with Matt G. That is not great for that driver. I mean, we would love to you to be in Div 1. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. I'm not too sure when Div 1 is actually racing, but it's gonna be Div 2 for now. As the guys are having some... It is positive. There we go. That is great. We've got Bossy Gaming on a fast lap. So I'm quickly going to take a sip of water. You know, the throat needs to be healthy. Well, stayed healthy for the race. It's going to be a sprint race too. And a 50% race. So it's going to be a long evening for everyone on track. And for me in the comms box, of course. As quickly take a sip. I feel like Bossy Gaming is pushing, but he is invalidated, so tomorrow we are racing. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, tomorrow is full already. Sorry, guys. My apologies. Energy Dan. Energy Dan. I know Energy Dan. He is also raced in King of Leagues, I think in... By the way, hi, teammate. By the way, Energy Dan, he has participated in King of Leagues in the first event. I feel like he didn't want to participate in the second event. Or did he? Wait, I don't remember actually. But he's on a fast lap right now. He's not coming into the pits, so that is great. He is on a fast lap, not on an out lap. Because sometimes you've got this glitch that it says you're in a fast lap, but actually you're in an out lap. Takes a lot of grip on the entry there. That was not great for Energy Dan. He's possibly not going to improve here. He is not indeed. As I'm not too sure if he has enough ERS left. Go for another lap. Doesn't look like it, as his lights are blinking there. at the back of his car. And that will be the only qualifying lap he will be able to perform here, as there's only 2 more minutes in the qualifying, so he will not be able to come into the pits anymore. Come out again, do a fast lap. That is not going to work. He might be able to save a little bit of ERS here, as we might want to drive on board with some other guys. Mansell, who's coming around the last corner. He's going to go for a fast lap. What is Mansell going to do? Is it going to be pole? It is indeed going to be pole. A 126.2 for the... Let me have a quick look at what car he races. If I'm not mistaken, it's a Ferrari. And I don't get how Mansell... Oh, he's possibly a new driver. He doesn't have any single points yet. But, oh, he's a reserve? Yeah, I know, MDJ. You did it this year, but you're not racing, so I cannot mention you. Let's go on board with some other guys. British guy, I think he just came across the line, didn't he? Let's go with the lap data real quick. And he seems to be pushing. Having a little bit of a snap there. Has to watch out. Corrected his car quite nice there. Takes a lot of grip on the exit. He is on a fast lap. And will he be able to put himself on pole here tonight? He has put a 126.5 already. He needs to improve by about 0.3 to be able to put himself on pole. And the silver car runner currently in a P4. British guy. Probably is a British guy. And yes, indeed, Mansell is a Ferrari guy. You know everything. It's crazy. You know everything. Well, I used to know everything when I was a league owner too, so... Energy Dan is a reserve, fair enough. Oh, Energy Dan retired. Did he crash out? Don't think so. He came into the pits as he didn't save any ERS. British guy, really fast through Megas and Begas here. Takes a lot of curb on the exit and the entry there. Now down the main straight, he goes 4/10 up on his time. It's not going to be an improvement here for the British guy, unfortunately. And he won't have enough time to come across the line and put a new lap in anymore. So we might want to drive on board. Serge, is he on a fast lap? Little brother, not too sure. Mansell is also ex-SFR director. That is great. Serge, who is on a fast lap. He's right in front of, right behind MCFC, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, indeed he is. As we've got that gray car, kind of purple car, on the left side of the track. He's going to go to the side. Nicely done there from that driver. Let me have a quick look who that is. Probably Utkarsh? Might have been Utkarsh, or it might have been a Mark. No. Serge, he is on a fast lap though. And is he improving entering sector 3? I guess we'll have to see coming out of Megas and Beckett here. As we've got MCMC going to the side. He saw that he wasn't improving anymore. Serge definitely seems like he is improving. Coming through Megas and Beckett right now. Takes a wide line through there. And Mindful Wasp with the fastest lap. Although Serge is improving by 1.4 that will possibly put him in the lead here. He needs to improve by a couple of hundreds to be able to get pole. Will Serge be able to do this? Coming into turn 16 and 17, he goes a couple of hundreds still for the yellow car runner. Now touches a lot of curb there. Might have had a lot of pressures on his shoulders, as that is gonna be a P4. He lost time there in sector 3 as he was 1.4 seconds down on his lap and currently 1.5 seconds up on the fastest lap he has done. Mindful Wasp will take the fastest lap here in Silverstone and therefore goes to the pole in the sprint race. We've got a 126.2, which is gonna be... Let me have a quick look if that is gonna be faster than the fastest lap I've commentated for. It is not. The qualifying record on the VB Thomas platform. Obviously, this isn't the VB Thomas platform. I'm VB Thomas. I also stream on Twitch. You know what it is. But the leagues I stream for, the best that haven't been done is the 125.5. But that is only from one race on the F123 game. So it's not really representable, if you know what I mean. Here we got the standings and the results of the short qualifying. We will be going straight over to a sprint race, but Mindful Wasp took the pole by 5 thousandths. Look at that. What a great battle this will be. And only 16 thousandths between Utkarsh and Serge. So these two were really battling it out. Also a pretty good P5 and P6 here from British guy and MCFC. only a couple of thousands away from each other. And we've got Wiggles in P7, Calvin Racing in P8, the V-Car in P9, and NFS in P10. Further, we've got Doran, Bossy Gaming, Energy Dan, The Bear, Matt G, Keith, and Mark all the way in P17. We've got Keith with a 5-second time penalty as he will be dropped to P17. And then we've got who? Oh fuck, Mark was I cannot swear. Sorry guys. That was sorry. That flipped out. My apologies. So yeah, that was great qualifying already. I tried my best. I did a whole qualifying without swearing. Covering the standings. Oh, that is a good one. I need to think about that. I'm gonna disable it when the standings are there, but I need to do it. Strike one. No way, strike one. No. But like, YouTube doesn't give you any strikes. I swear on my YouTube videos all the time, and I've never gotten a strike before. So you guys just don't have to like report the channel, and everything will be all chilly willy here. We are chilling in the paddock club, as you can see on the right here. No, right here. Just kidding, me. Yeah, buddy. I mean, I'm trying my best right now. I've done a whole qualifying without swearing, so I feel like I've done great. 1 pound in the swear jar. Oh man, great stuff. We've got no formation lap, so we will be going straight in the sprint races. We've got 5 red lights, and away we go. Mindful Wasp with a pretty decent start there. We've got Wiggles already in P5, as we need to get the position changes up real quick. Mindful Wasp has taken the lead with Mansell in P2 and Utkarsh in P3. Further, we've got Surge in P4 and Wiggles in P5. Is anyone making a move here? It seems to be a little bit tricky here through turn 4, as there's going to be someone put wide. That was NFS, as he kind of spun out. Wiggles already at P3. Not too sure what's happening here. They're going 3 wide into turn 6. Who is going to take P3? That is going to be Surge, as we've got Mr. Wiggles having a little bit of a battle here with the other guys on track. Mr. Wiggles now with the inside line. Possibly has a broken front wing, as he is going a little bit slow through turn 7 right now. The British guy defending P6 with Utkarsh right on his tail. We've got MCFC having a heated battle with Bossy Gaming right next to him, as it is going to be a heated battle through Cop's corner, and Bossy Gaming goes out of the way. No, that was Utkarsh. He's going out of the way quite nicely, but the guys behind him have taken advantage from his weird line, as we've got a crazy battle here into Maggots and Baggots. And Bossy Gaming currently in P9 with NFS in P10. Is there any heated battles up front? Yes, there is. Mansell around the outside into turn 5. Is he going to be able to take the lead of the race here tonight? Yes, he is. Mindful Wasp goes onto the grass. There goes the pole, and he will not be happy with that. He didn't get put into the wall. I feel like he just spun out for some reason, as he's been put back into P13 with Doran right behind him. Now, Mansell has a lead of about 1.8 seconds already. And there is a 2.3 second gap from Utkarsh to MCFC. Possibly because Utkarsh kind of took an interesting line through Kop's corner. But let's go on board with Calvin Racing, as he's currently right behind Surge. And I feel like Surge is trying to close down that gap to Mansell. But it doesn't seem like it's working quite nice. Gets a little bit of time on the straights. We've got Mr. Wiggles currently in P4. He's getting pushed from behind. The British guy, 3/10s, 2/10s behind, as he's possibly going to be able to make a move through Cop's corner with the use of DRS, of course. DRS, not really ERS, is what I meant to say, as he's 2/10s behind. Is he going to use the ERS here a little bit? Bossy Gaming takes a P7 from Utkarsh in the same corner, isn't it? In the same corner where Utkarsh previously lost his position. As we've got Bossy Gaming going a little bit wide there. I feel like these two are going to be battling the whole race. The whole sprint race, of course, as there's only 9 laps here. And there is still 7 laps to go. Utkarsh right on the tail of Bossy Gaming. He's not going to have the DRS. DRS is only enabled entering lap 3. As it seems like Calvin Racing has taken P2 there from Surge. And Utkarsh takes P7 from Bossy Gaming. These two will be having heated battles. But Surge now takes P2 again, as Mr. Wiggles is getting followed from behind. British guy spins around as he tried to make a move into turn 16. Unfortunately, it didn't work for him. as he's getting pushed back to P10 right now. DRS is enabled as he's got Mark right on his tail. Is Mark going to be able to make the move? It does look like it. He's got a better run coming out of turn 17, that is, or turn 18 if I'm not mistaken, going into turn 1. And they're not coming out side by side. It seems like Doran is pretty close here. Mark down the inside of Mindful Wasp. Mindful Wasp caught off guard there a little bit by the blue car runner as he's struggling. He is struggling. Mindful Wasp possibly has overheated tires here as he's now getting chased from behind by Doran down the main straight. It is a DRS straight, so Doran will just fly past the Wasp here. He's taking the inside line, and there goes Doran. The Mindful Wasp might have been a little bit closer, or did Doran just went onto the throttle too fast? Let's go back to the front of the grid. So we've got a close battle between MCFC and Mr. Wiggles. 3 tenths between the two. We've got Utkars losing about half a tenth every couple of laps. And Bossy Gaming now with a 3-second time penalty. There's only 2 drivers on the grid with a 3-second time penalty right now. We've got the Bear in P14 and Bossy Gaming in P7. So he will possibly lose a lot of positions there, as he's got an NFC and the Vicar both being pretty close, but both not with a penalty. Now having a quick look with Mindful Wasp here as he's going down the inside of Mark into turn 15. Mark is possibly going to be able to make a switchback work, although he's not going for it into turn 16 and 17 right now, as that is not going to work. Unfortunately, Mark is struggling to keep guys behind him, and he's also struggling to get in front of him. So Mr. Wiggles right now coming into turn 3, that is, if I'm not mistaken, turn 4 and 5. This is, as it doesn't seem like these guys are really planning on making any moves, because, you know, this is only a sprint race, so no big points are going to be given. But of course, if you're going into the sprint race, you got that kind of mindset that you don't want to overtake too much, because the more you overtake, the more risk there is to crash out. As you can see, Mansell and Mindful Wasp, who were having a battle. Mindful Wasp lost it, and currently he's in P11. He was leading the race, so that is not great, obviously. We've got a guy crashing out. That is the British guy, as he dropped back all the way to P17. We've got a couple of battles at the back of the grid, but I really want to focus on this P3 battle between Calvin Racing and Wiggles right now. He's going to have DRS. Calvin Racing is going too, so we might want to have a quick look on who is not having DRS right now. Mindful Wasp with a 3-second time penalty, as we've got Bossy Gaming now with the DRS wide open. And Utkars doesn't have a single ERS left. As you can see, his lights are blinking already, and that is not a good sign, as we've still got 5 laps of racing here in the sprint race. But it doesn't look like Bossy Gaming is gaining any time down the main straight. Utkars is really pushing right here, but there's still 4 more laps to come, of course, in this sprint race. MCFC into turn 3. Is he going to be able to make a move? Tries to make a dive bomb work, sticks his nose down the inside, but there wasn't enough room for him to make a move right there. Now into turn 5 they go with a little bit of use of the DRS. He might be able to get a little bit closer, but it's not going to be enough, because Mr. Wiggles also has that DRS. He's also almost out of the DRS, as Calvin Racing is really pushing here. It seems like MCFC is a little bit stuck behind Mr. Wiggles. So if Mr. Wiggles drops out of the DRS, he's definitely going to be losing that position to MCFC. Maybe coming out of Cops Corner, or maybe coming out of... Oh, MCFC is already going for it. Into Cops Corner he goes. He backs out of the move. Is he going wide? Mr. Wiggles definitely is. They're going side by side through through Maggots and Packets. This is not great. Are we seeing another? Oh, this is a stupid side. Why are they always giving me this view? All right, so MCFC making that move again on Mr. Wiggles. Seems like Mr. Wiggles is struggling a little bit down the main straight, although MCFC did have the DRS, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Surge is pretty close to Calvin Racing here, only 1/10 separated between the two of them. And I feel like Surge really has the pace around here, gained 1 position already. I want to see what tires everyone is on. There's a couple of different strategies here. A couple of guys on the mediums, a couple of guys on the soft, so you will definitely be able to see the medium tire runners being a little bit faster at the end of the race here compared to the soft tire runners, because obviously the medium tire runners, the medium tires go longer than the soft tires. So now down the main straight they go. DRS wide open for Surge, and that is most likely going to be a move, or isn't it? He's not going to make it work. Maybe he has to wait coming out of Megats and Begats. But that was possibly a chance for him to take P2 here and close down the gap to Mansell. Although I do have to say Mansell's race pace has been looking pretty amazing right now. As Sai said in the chat too. He's really fast at the moment. And there's only 2/10 away for Surge here. And I feel like a lot of guys are having really close battles with each other. But you know, the grid is spread out a little bit here. Not that it's a problem, because there's a lot of guys who are sticking together, such as Calvin Racing, Surge, MCFC, Mr. Wiggles, and then you've got a little bit of a group for Utkarsh, Bossy Gaming, the V-Car. But now Surge takes a P2 here, as he wants those 7 points on the board for the team. He's currently, let me have a quick look with the standings real quick. He is currently in P1. So he needs a lot of points. He's not going to be in danger from Mansell, who's possibly going to win this sprint race. But he's definitely having a battle with the V-Car and Energy Dan. The V-Car, who's currently in P8, so he's going to score 1 point. And Energy Dan is... Oh, there goes Surge! There goes Surge! As he gets overtaken. He gets bumped from behind by Calvin Racing. And that is going to be sprint race over. Well, not really, because he's in P5. But those are going to be 7 points lost. He's going to get 3 in total, or 4 if I'm not mistaken. And that is really frustrating for the medium tire runner here in the last part of the race, as we've got Surge taking that position from Calvin Racing. Calvin Racing has given that position. I do have to give him that it's good sportsmanship racing. But he is most likely going to get a penalty for that. You know, I mean, you cannot blame him for missing his braking point, but then giving back that position is not the smartest thing to do, because you're going to get the penalty anyway. If that makes sense. The V-Car is looking to make a move here in turn 10, that is. Mindful Wasp with another penalty. What a penalty. He's got 3 seconds, well, 6 seconds already. Mr. Wiggles, who now makes the move down the main straight on MCFC. There's only 2 more laps to be driven after these ones. And the V-Car looking to make a move on Bossy Gaming again, but Bossy Gaming with a better exit coming through turn 15. And let's have a quick look with MCFC again, as this is a quick battle for P2, although it isn't anymore, as MCFC just caught a 3-second time penalty. So pushing isn't really needed anymore for MCFC. I feel like pushing is just going to make him make mistakes. Or maybe he's going to cause Wiggles to make a mistake. Now down the inside into turn 5. It's not going to be an overtake opportunity, but maybe down the line he is. With the use of DRS, yes indeed he is, as he's going into turn 6 right now. And he has made the move before the corner was there, so it's always great that you were able to make the move before the corner is there, because otherwise you have to throw it down the inside, or you have to push him a little bit wide in order to create space into turn 7. It's not great. So if you can make the move before the corner is there, it's kind of a safe feeling going into turn 7 then. And then we've got Mr. Wiggles right behind MCFC. He doesn't need to push either. He's going to get that position anyway. Calvin Racing now makes the move into turn 10. That is before Megats and Begats is there. Might have a little bit of a weird line through Megats and Begats due to that move down the inside into turn 10. But Surge does have that penalty right now. It's not great. Surge gave him that position, it seems like, as he's now having the outside line into turn 15. Who's going to take this position? Surge, on the other hand, takes out Calvin Racing. Might have went a little bit too deep there, or a little bit too tight into that corner. Clipped the front wing of Calvin Racing, as Calvin Racing gets pushed back to P10 right now. That is going to be frustrating. He's going to be frustrated by that move by Surge. And MCFC and Wiggles still having a heated battle. Oh, Surge down the inside. I feel like Mr. Wiggles, he's trying to take this smart. He's trying to play this smart, because now he's going to have DRS. He's going to be able to make that move again down the straight. Although MCFC having a good exit coming out of that corner. Mr. Wiggles doesn't need to push anything. He doesn't need to push anything. Is he going to be able to make the move? Doesn't look like it. Maybe coming out of Megats and Begats. He is, with another DRS opportunity. Currently in lap 9 of the 9, and we can safely say that Mansell is going to win this race. Even if he spins out right now, he's going to win the race. 9 seconds in front. That is a big lead for the Ferrari runner. Well, the Ferrari car runner. As Mr. Wiggles is going to take P2, probably, if he doesn't catch a penalty here. Doesn't look like it. He just needs to keep it chill. As on these soft tires, that might be quite difficult. It depends on how long you can make these soft tires work. I do feel like a couple of guys are struggling right now already with the amount of penalties they're getting. Mr. Wiggles around the outside, as he has a good line through turn 15. Mr. British guy with another 3-second time penalty, but it is going to be Mansell coming across the line to take your sprint race win. MCFC is going to take P3 as Mr. Wiggles is going to put himself in P2 here. Surge in P4 after a dramatic incident with, I think it was Calvin Racing, if I'm not mistaken. Utkar stays at the podium actually without a penalty, so that is great. Only 1/10 away between MCFC and Utkars. And we've got, of course, the rest of the grid. We've got NFC in P7, the VCar in P6, so he's going to take 3 points to the team. Bossy Gaming in P8, he's going to take 1 point. And Calvin Racing just out of the points in P9, Mindful Wasp in P10. We've got Energy Dan in P11, Doran in P12, the Bear in P13, a Mark in P14 with a pretty close battle. No, but wait, why are these guys actually driving next to each other? We've got Keat in P15 and Magi still has to come across the line. But that is going to be a P16 for him. The British guy got disqualified for some reason. Yeah, I mean, looking at the chat right now, oh, wait, driver of the day is Mr. Wiggles. Congratulations to you. But, yeah, I mean, there were a couple of spins, unfortunately. I'm just going to delete my... How can I do this? The camera. There we go. And I hope you guys will be able to see. That's the AI made. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Mansell right now in P1, as he's going to take 8 points to the team. Let's have a quick look at this. Mansell in P1, Mr. Wiggles in P2, and we've got Utkars in P3. Then we've got MCFC in P4, and Surge in P5, the VCar in P6, and NFS in P7, Bossy Gaming in P8, Calvin Racing in P9, and Mindful Wasp into P10. Where we've got Energy Dan, Doran, the Bear, Mark, Keat, Magi, and British guy all the way at the back of the grid. And now I'm gonna show you my face again. Here we are. Just gonna blow my nose. Oh, I don't have any tissues here. All right, hold up. We will be right back, buddies, guys. Yeah. The YouTube chat is coming a little bit late, so my apologies if I'm answering to your questions or your opinions or your chats a little bit late. It's the chat, so it is what it is. So we are all waiting right now in the Paddock Club. Let's talk a little bit more about the standings right now. So I've got them ready right here. But we need to be ready again when the race is going to start, of course, because we've got no formation lap. So we've got Surge currently in a comfortable lead. I mean, a comfortable lead. He's got about 33 points. So I would say that is quite comfortable. We've got the VCar in P2. As he didn't have a great race, I feel like. He wasn't P6 or P8. And we've got Energy Dan in P3. He didn't have a great race either. He was all the way in P16. Or P17. No, Where did he end? It was Magi in P16. Who was in P... I think Energy Dan qualified in P16, if I'm not mistaken. We've got Magi in P4, Adams in P5, and yeah, it's a close battle. You know, these guys are really fast, and we've still got a long season ahead. We're currently only in route 11, and we've got 23, so we're almost halfway past the season. But there's still a lot of points for grabs. The guys are really close to each other. Top 10 is going to score points. That is not always the case in most leagues. Most leagues usually do give everyone points, if that makes sense. It's just to reward the guys that actually take place in the races, because sometimes you've got the P11s, the P12s, and what is holding them back from DNFing in the race? Like, they're not getting any points anyway. I don't think they're gonna get penalties or penalty points or whatever for not coming across the finish line, so they can just retire in the pit lane or whatever, make a mistake, crash it into the wall. It is what it is. But we're going to be racing here. It's going to be 5 red lights tonight in Silverstone. So we're going to get a 50% race. So here we go. Lap data wide open. We've got the position changes wide open, as we can see who's going to make the move. Mansell still in the lead, as we've got Mr. Wiggles right behind him. Search, is he going to be able to make a move? We've got a little bit of a group here in P4 into turn 3 right now. They're going side by side. Is that going to be the VCAR and MCFC? Yes, indeed he is, as the VCAR now takes a P5 from the VCAR, the MCFC. We've got NFS dropping back all the way to P17. He has lost 10 positions already. MCFC looking to make a move into turn 6. That is going to be a beautiful move there from the black and yellow car runner, as he retakes P5. As of course he qualified in P4 here tonight. But I mean, he qualified in, I mean, he got the sprint race in P4. MCFC is looking to make a move into Cop's corner right there. Into turn 9. Had a little bit of a snap there, I feel like. And didn't get all the room he needed. As he's now entering a Cop's corner. No, Maggots and Maggots. Yeah, my apologies, guys. I'm mixing up these corner names. 210s right now for MCFC. As this looking like he's struggling coming out of Maggots and Maggots right there. We've got Mindful Wasp getting chased from behind. Energy Dan. As Energy Dan is definitely battling for the championship battle here. He's now getting chased from behind. Bossy Gaming around the outside. So Energy Dan breaks late to keep the Bossy Gaming, the black car runner, behind. The Mansell takes the fastest lap. You might want to have a quick look at the tires. Mediums for a lot of guys, hards for a lot of guys, as Energy Dan currently is running those soft tires. And I feel like Energy Dan, you know, on these soft tires, he didn't gain a lot of positions yet. As that might be coming for later. But starting on the softs here in Silverstone, I feel like it's not always the best decision to go onto the softs. Mainly due to a high overheating probability. So it's not the best way to go, as he's now going down the inside of a Mindful Wasp here. Takes P8 on these soft tires. Mindful Wasp, who is on hard tires. He had the fastest qualifying lap here tonight. But definitely doesn't have the race pace that's needed to keep these guys behind him. As Bossy Gaming is now planning on making an attack on Mindful Wasp. He's running medium tires, so he should be a little bit faster. But it's not going to be the case, as he is having struggles coming into Maggots and Maggots right now. Calvin racing 310s behind the VCAR. As the VCAR is losing the toe of AKG MCFC. As MCFC is looking to make a move. 210s, 110, down the main straight. He's going to use ERS. I'm pretty sure of that. As we've got Search defending the inside line. Search, who has a lot of straight line speed here. So he's going to be able to keep MCFC behind him. As we've got Calvin racing taking P7 from the VCAR. That's quite an easy move down the main straight. We've got Udkars. Hey, wait! Someone's off track. That is going to be Search, the Indian driver, all the way in P14 right now, as he's probably going to get dropped back to P17. As we've got a close battle here for a P4, that is, with 4 drivers battling for that position, of course. The VCAR has got his hands full with Energy Dan right behind him. I mean, I feel like Energy Dan on these soft tires, he should get a lot of positions on the board, which he hasn't already. He did have a great move on Mindful Wasp already, but I feel like struggling a little bit. I don't know if it's tires or if it's setup-wise. Now down the main straight, the guys are having DRS already. So Calvin Racing is definitely in trouble here. We've got the Boss Gaming having a heated battle with Mindful Wasp. Side by side, they go into turn 7, as it is going to be Mindful Wasp taking P8. With Bossy Gaming right behind him. Bossy Gaming, who is running a medium tire, so it's quite, you know, it's not really logical that he's losing that position. Now down in P10, we've got the Bear making a move into Cop's corner. As we've got the British guy alongside Matt G. Matt G, who came all the way from P17, if I'm not mistaken, gaining 6 positions already. Now taking another position from British guy, who's in P12. And the guys right behind. Wiggles takes P1. He takes the lead of the race as he's got Mansell next to him as they're going side by side through turn 15. As they're now going side by side through turn 16. It's not going to be a move for Wiggles, unfortunately. He had the lead of the race, but only for a couple of seconds, as it is going to be Mansell on those hard tires. So he's going to have a long evening right now. Have you got any green? I don't have a green screen, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. But I feel like it's quite annoying, you know, with the thingies. I do feel that. I do understand that. Mr. Wiggles right now in P2, as he's going to be right behind Mansell. I feel like he's struggling a little bit. Mansell has the race pace, but he definitely doesn't have the benefit of the tires right now. I mean, Mr. Wiggles, he's been great. He has been fast already. Running on medium tires, sticking it on the toe of Mansell. He's not quite there yet, but maybe going into a couple of laps more. He's gonna even lose more pace because the hard tires are gonna be faster at the end of their stint compared to the medium tires. But when will the pit window be open for these guys? I feel like the hard tire runners can go anywhere between lap 12 and then lap 15 maybe. As Mr. Wiggles now has the DRS, goes alongside Mansell as he tries to make a switchback work. But it's not going to work through turn 15, unfortunately. Now has the outside line. Mr. Mansell defending the inside line into turn 16. This is going to be Wiggles with a good overtaking opportunity if he makes the switchback work, but he's not going to, as he's losing a couple of tenths here in Sector 3. Calvin racing with the fastest lap. He's currently in P4. He's trying to close down that gap to Utkarsh as he is within the DRS second. Bossy Gaming 2 tenths behind Mindful Wasp. As these guys are pretty close to each other. I feel like, wait, someone is alongside. That is the bear. We saw that little hand going up. The bear making the switchback work. Beautiful move there from the bear. He's taken out. He's taking out Bossy Gaming. He went a little bit too wide there as he didn't have any room, unfortunately, to make that work. So that is going to be the bear drop back all the way to P15. Must be frustrating as he's getting overtaken by NFS right now. Mindful Wasp, another penalty. That is going to be the first penalty of the evening. Utkarsh again in Cobb's corner. I feel like this is really the corner where Utkarsh is either struggling or either making a move now alongside Mr. Wiggles. Nobody is backing out. They're going side by side through Megan's Beckets. Not a great idea. Utkarsh gets pushed wide and he's going to spin around in turn 11, that is, as he is back in P8. He needs to watch out for that car alongside him as he's getting overtaken and he's spinning out Bossy Gaming. Bossy Gaming, who's now in the wall, and he's possibly got a broken front wing. Actually, he doesn't. That is quite interesting. Not too sure what's going on with these guys right now, but they're not keeping it clean at the moment. As you saw Utkarsh coming back on track, and I feel like he didn't leave much room for the bear or Bossy Gaming around the outside, and they just went colliding with each other. So unfortunately, that is going to be possibly a penalty for Utkarsh, depending on what the stewards think of that. But we will definitely see something in the stewards report. I mean, in the incident report right there. As I mean, Mindful Wasp, he was somewhat at the back of the grid. Currently in P7. Let's have a quick look at the position changes. As we've got 6 positions gained for Calvin Racing. Energy Dan gained 6 positions too. And then we've got the biggest winner of the evening right now being British Guy, gaining 7 positions. Mr. Wiggles is still alongside Mansell, although, I mean, he's not alongside, but he's pretty close. As it is going to be only a 2/10 gap. So with the use of DRS, he might be able to make that move down the main straight. And what he has to do right now is try to get past Mansell as soon as possible and just benefit from those medium tires, because right now he's struggling to get past and he's struggling to make those medium tires work and get the gap on the Ferrari driver right now. Wiggles, he's also been pushed from behind. Calvin Racing, what car is he in? Let me have a quick look here. Calvin Racing is in the Alfa Romeo, so I feel like Calvin Racing is one of the newer guys, or even a reserve driver, but Bossy Gaming coming into the pits again. He had a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, or was that someone else? That was the Bear, apparently. As that is... No, it's going to be Bossy Gaming. Wait, 5-second time penalty? How does that make sense? Oh, no. Wait. Huh? It did say 5-second time penalty, didn't it? Pretty interesting right there. Now, having a quick look at Calvin Racing. He has gained six positions already. I feel like he's on hard tires, isn't he? Yes, he is. No, he isn't. He's on medium tires right now. But, you know, he's keeping up with the guys ahead. And I think it's going to be a close battle for P2, as both drivers in P2 and P3 don't have a penalty yet. But of course, Mansell is going to have the faster tire at the end of the race. The guys in P2 and P3 might be able to gain a couple of positions. I mean, a couple of tenths at the end of the race. But Calvin Racing, who has a good run coming out of Meggetts and Beggetts, is most likely going to be able to make a move into turn 15. He's having the inside line. And yes, he is. He's got the pace. He's got the move done. And that is going to be P2 for Calvin Racing. The Alfa Romeo runner, as of course, he's looking to get a couple of laps in as your race leader. But I don't think Mansell will give that position for free. We've got Keith trying to make the move on Search. As of course, Keith, he has been a little bit incognito tonight as he's making that move. Coming out of the last corner now into turn 1 they go. As he's taking the move, Search struggling a little bit here on the 7-lap-old hards. As he came from P4, got spun out himself. And currently battling for points, which is not great as he's leading the championship battle. And I feel like, you know, when you're in the championship battle, there's a lot more pressure on your shoulders. Keith making a move down the inside of Matt G right now. Keith definitely having the pace here around Silverstone. As he's now getting a little push from behind, getting pushed onto the grass a little bit. But Matt G didn't put a lot of pressure behind it. And then, of course, Keith isn't going to get spun out. 2 tenths in between Matt G and Keith. There's 2 tenths between Calvin Racing and Mansell, so we might want to have a focus at that. Because Calvin Racing is going to have the DRS coming out of Meggetts and Beggetts. And is it going to be enough? Good line coming through turn of 14. That is DRS wide open for Calvin Racing. He's going alongside the Ferrari runner, the Ferrari driver, as he's making that move. He's taking the lead here. And can he get that race win? That is going to be a good question. But Mansell will be on the medium tires at the end of the race. But I have a feeling going onto the hards at the end of the race is sometimes more beneficial than going onto the medium tires. I'm speaking out of experience, right? The hard medium tire runners are usually in the deficit here. The hard tires are sometimes faster in Silverstone than the medium tires. I'm speaking out of experience. I once had a guy, he was equal pace to me. He was on hard tires, I was on medium tires, and that guy was way faster than me. So I'm not too sure if it's like a performance issue or a tire issue or whatever you want to call it. Mindful Wasp now gets a lot of positions. He gets a lot of positions, gets pushed from behind. I'm not too sure what's happening here. MCFC was having a heat. This is interesting. MCFC, who went through turn 8 right there, pushed Mindful Wasp off track to show a little bit of irritation, maybe a little bit of anger, as I'm not too sure that was a clean move from MCFC right there. Energy Dan, who now takes P6 from the V car, as these two are definitely battle for the championship. Mansell now in P2, right on the tail of Calvin Racing. He takes the outside line. The move is not going to be there, as of course the outside line is never going to be great coming through turn 15. You either have to have the advantage of the tires or the advantage of the pace. Mindful Wasp is now retiring from the session as he's taking MCFC with him. MCFC who's having a broken front wing, as I feel like these guys have taken each other out on purpose. Mindful Wasp currently in P13, having a DNF unfortunately, as MCFC has a broken front wing. Now the guys in the lead, I think it's about 5 people. No, 6 people actually, as Mad G didn't come into the pits either. But the guys who have come into the pits right now are definitely having the advantage of the pit stop. And this is great for Energy Dan, because he will be able to take these hards with him till the end of the race. Keith, who is going on to soft tires, interesting choice. As all the other guys should go either on the mediums or the hards. I feel like you can make the mediums work if you save some tire life. Looking at the penalties right now, a couple of guys with a 3-second time penalty. We've got Serge with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is definitely not great. An 8-second time penalty for the Bear, as he's currently in P14. And with an 8-second time penalty, I don't see him getting anywhere near the points tonight. Yeah, these guys will be frustrated by that. You know, as a racing driver, being in the top 3, being in the top 5, you're seeing that safety car come out. You're gonna be frustrated. Mainly due to the fact that you're already past the pit lane. You're already past the fact you're going to be able to come into the pits and change tires. And all the guys behind you who have come into the pits, as you can see right now, Energy Dan, who's only, I feel like 5 seconds behind Calvin Racing, behind the lead. And he's on fresh tires, so this is great for all the guys who have come into the pits already, but not so great for the guys who have not come into the pits already. And my kite Keed, LUFC, there we go. Steven, welcome to the stream. Keed has gotten a pretty decent... Oh, all these guys are coming into the pits. They're definitely going to be losing a lot of positions coming into the pits right now, but they would have even lost more time if they came into the pits later. Because right now they will be able to sort themselves behind the safety car. MCFC has retired in the pit lane. So that is going to be frustrating evening for MCFC. Kind of had an interesting incident with Mindful Wasp. These guys might know each other from before already. I'm just going to have a quick look where Mindful Wasp is. He's all the way in P14. 59 points for the McLaren driver, if I'm not mistaken. Mercedes driver, Mindful Wasp, has left the session. And a couple of guys on the softs. We've got Keed on the softs. Interesting choice from the Williams driver, as he is running that beautiful Golf livery from Williams, which they run in Singapore. And the guys in the chat, please let me know what your favorite livery is on the track. If it's Alfa Romeo, Mercedes, Williams, whatever you can name. If it's like a livery from past the prehistory, that is also alright. But let me know what your favorite livery is on track. I'm a big Alfa Romeo fan. I really like the Alfa Romeo livery and just the colors and the Italian flag at the back of the wing. I really like the livery in general, and you know, also Ferrari has a nice livery. This race has turned into on his head. So yes, indeed, all because of the safety car. So we've got actually Mansell going on to the mediums right now is not having the benefit of the tires, because the mediums will not be able to, well, might be able to last until the end of the race, but he's really going to be struggling in those last couple of laps. There's still 15 more laps to come, as I'm quickly going to blow my nose before we can go again. Oh, we've got a Williams Golf livery fan in the chat. Yeah, I really love that one too. I feel like, you know, the blue is a little bit nicer than, for example, you know, you've got McLaren, who is also running orange and light blue, but I feel like Williams have executed it better. Like the proportions of the colors are better, and like the hex colors, they are a little bit lighter. Keith, who is now coming into the pits, gone from softs to hard tires probably. Goes onto the mediums. Wow. That is a bold strategy. That is a bold strategy. I don't feel like he's going to make it work. He might make it work. Depends on whether the safety car comes in already. He's got Serge right behind him. And I feel like Sai Search is a friend of yours or like your brother or whatever. Because Search is also Indian. So I feel like it could be a coincidence, but it could also be a very logical reason behind it. And the guys are definitely going to be able to sort themselves behind the safety car. They've got enough time. They've got enough time. Strategy-wise, I don't know what to think, guys. Are the mediums going to make it work? I feel like it's going to be a tough challenge. 14 laps. But looking at this, you would have definitely been able to go for soft mediums. You would have definitely be able to go for soft... Oh, almost goes into the back of the safety car right there. That was dangerous. He was pushing. He was pushing. Already getting the tires ready. Already getting them done hot. He's Indian, but not related to me. Okay. It's just funny because I've never seen an Indian driver except for Eric Pinto, you, and then of course, Search. Yeah, it's quite... I don't see many Indians race, actually. Neither have I seen a lot of Belgian guys race. There's more Belgian guys I've seen than Indians. What is a country I've never seen before? I've seen Pakistan. I've seen China. Well, actually, China. Have I seen a Chinese driver? I feel like the servers are not great. Oh, 5-second time penalty for Matt G. No, that is a British guy for a collision with Matt G. Fair enough. Sorry. Thanks for letting me know. All right, we're going to be racing again. But that 5-second time penalty is definitely going to be frustrating for a British guy. When is Energy Dan going to go? He is kind of pushing already. Not too sure what happened there. That was a weird restart. He kind of went onto the throttle, but he kind of didn't either. I don't know what to say. Mark now alongside Calvin. Oh, Calvin Racing goes down the inside. Didn't have the room that was needed. Cambodian. Let me have a quick think. I don't think I've seen a Cambodian driver any time before. I don't think so. Nope. Neither have I seen a lot of Portuguese drivers. But that's actually a country that's quite close to me. Mansell having a heated battle with Calvin Racing. And these two are currently battling for a possible lead of the race. I mean, a possible win. But in that case, they need to make the overtake on 6 other people. And will that be the case? I don't think so. Wait. Huh? What? Huh? How is NFC leading the race right now? How is NFC leading the race? Guys, I'm confused. That is a glitch from the game, possibly. Oh, we have a Portuguese in Div 1. That is great. That is great. Yeah, I mean, you know, Portuguese drivers. I know one Portuguese driver. He's an esports driver. But I don't feel like he's fast enough to be an esports driver. Well, it is what it is. Search, who's got the fastest lap right now, 130.0, which is quite fast. But the fastest lap here on this track done by previous league is a 128 point something. So are we. Are you an esports team? Wait, I don't... Oh yeah, you probably are, because you're taking... Wait, I don't know what you're saying on so are we. It doesn't really matter. Mansell now still right behind Calvin. And these medium tires, as you can see, as I said already, these medium tires are not faster than the hard tires. Mr. Wiggles down the inside here, having a heated battle with Utkarsh. And I feel like these two have collided in the sprint race, didn't they? I feel like they did. British guy looking to make a move alongside Wiggles. Around the outside he goes into Cobb's corner. He's going a little bit wide there, but touches the curb. And they're not getting chased from behind. Matt G, who's looking to make that move. Oh, yeah, you're confused. Yeah, me too. I don't know what happened. Oh, there's a lot of chaos going on right now. We've got Adoran at the back of the grid. Calvin, who's getting overtaken by Mansell. But Calvin is looking to make that move again. He's looking to make that move again. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Mark, who is keeping all these guys up. On the soft tires, DRS is enabled again. And we've got Mark dropping back. Ooh, I think he crashed. He dropped back all the way to P14. Energy Dan and the V-Car having a heated battle right now. Maybe it's just my game. That could be the issue too. Maybe it's just my game. But the guys are pretty close to each other right now. 5/10s between the V-Car and Energy Dan. Looking at the tires, I feel like the mediums are going to make it work. They're just going to be struggling at the end of the race. Still 11 laps to go. As the V-Car is actually running the same pace as his fastest lap on this track. He's only 8 thousandths slower than his previous lap. I mean, the fastest lap he's done. So he definitely has the pace on these hard tires. And you can see the hard tires are actually not able... Well, are able to keep the medium tires behind them. Because you can see Calvin Racing keeping up with Mansell. And he's definitely going to be able to make that move down the straight, I feel like. Right now, having DRS coming out of Maggots and Baggets. And he's going to take P5. And it's going to be a lot of points. I think P5 takes about 10 points, if I'm not mistaken. The V-Car now in P2, around the outside. There goes Energy Dan. As he's getting chased from behind. The Bear, who's looking to make a move into turn 16. He goes. He's having the outside line. Energy Dan! He pushes the V-Car a little bit wide. And oh, there was not much room right there for the Bear. But luckily, he didn't get pushed wide and pushed onto the curb. Because if you go onto the curb right there into turn 17, that is race over. And we, of course, don't want that to happen. Right now, the V-Car in P4. Not too sure what happened there, but I feel like Energy Dan went a little bit too deep into that corner. Kind of missed his braking point. They've got Mansell and Calvin right behind them too. So I don't feel like they did a great job playing this correctly. As the Bear now takes P2 from Energy Dan. As they're coming through turn 6 and 7 right now. Energy Dan 110 behind. As the Bear does have a penalty. So that is going to be... Could it be SFR trio on the podium? That would be great. That would be great. I mean, you've got an SFR driver in the lead already, being NFS. But I don't know if that's going to count, of course. As they're now coming through Maggots and Baggets. And I feel like, you know, going through Maggots and Baggets, it's always a little bit of a nervous feeling. Because there is always that chance around the corner that you're going to spin out. And the V-Car now down the inside of Energy Dan. These two have collided already in the corner they're coming into right now. Is Energy Dan going to make the same mistake? Missing his braking point. I feel like he is. He's gonna... Oh, there was not much room there. Mansell takes that position. Calvin Racing takes that position. Calvin needs to watch out to not come back onto the racing line because Energy Dan was there. Goes onto the curb. And that is going to be a penalty already. As British guys now going down the inside. Energy Dan didn't leave enough space for the British driver to come down the inside of Energy Dan. He's just struggling to find pace here. I feel like he misses his braking point every now and then. Did do a good job overtaking Maggi right there. But looking at the results right now, I don't think it's going to be a SFR podium right now, as I feel like Mansell, he's already taken that position. Calvin is struggling to keep that position, I mean, make that move on the V-Car, as he is 3/10 behind right now. He's gonna have the DRS, but so does the V-Car, so does Mansell, as it is possibly gonna be a race win for Mansell here if NFS is gonna put him, is gonna get put back to the original position he was in. Of course, you don't know what position he's gonna get put into. I guess you will kind of have to look at that, at how many seconds he was behind the guys, and like, I don't know how actually they're going to solve this. I actually don't know how they're going to solve this. Mansell with the DRS alongside the Bear. He's making it stick. He's making it stick. Is he going to get that position? He is indeed. And that's going to be a lead of the race for the Ferrari driver. The Bear is not giving up. It's not giving up. Making the switchback work. What a move from the Bear right there. What a move from the Bear with his green car. The Green Hulk. We've got the Green Beast. As I'm not too sure if any of you are familiar with the darts. I've mentioned it before in King of Leagues. Mansell along the outside, around the outside, has the inside line right now into turn 4. And that is going to be moved on. Maybe the Bear with another switchback. He is indeed going to make that switchback work. Who's going to have the DRS though? It is going to be Mansell. So Mansell going to take the race lead again. As it is going to be Energy Dan now. MP7 making that move on Utkarsh. But as I said, oh, these two are still going side by side. Energy Dan going around the outside. I don't feel like he's going to make it stick. Although he is. He's making it stick. And Utkarsh again having a side by side battle through Kop's corner. It's like his signature corner, you know. Matt G, who's gotten a lot of positions already. 8 more laps to go here in Silverstone tonight. And the bear... he is doing a great job keeping up with Mansell at the moment. He's going to have the DRS again. As Calvin Racing is making this move on the V-car. So that is great for Calvin Racing. As both Calvin Racing and Mansell have 0 points in the Drivers' Championship. So I feel like there are new guys in this tier. There are new guys in this championship battle. But if they were in this championship battle at the beginning of the race, I feel like they would have been able to get a P1, a P2, a P3, somewhere in the top 5. Because they're definitely outperforming the rest of the grid right now. We've got the British guy getting chased from behind. That is actually going to be the British car making the move himself on the V car here, making the switchback work. Yes, indeed he is. He has a good run. The room wasn't there down the inside, having a little bit of a snap, as that is going to be Energy Dan in P6 right now with the use of DRS. Will he be able to make that move down the inside? I feel like Energy Dan is looking for moves that aren't really there. He's looking for gaps when there isn't a gap, if that makes sense. He's looking for space, but it isn't there. So maybe Energy Dan, Chilly Willy on the track. Just patiently wait. There's nothing to gain from spinning people out anyway. As you will get a big penalty there. So Energy Dan now down the line, having a little bit of a struggle through Maggots and Baggets, but he will have the DRS to catch up to the V-car again. The V-car definitely struggling down the straight line, as you can see, getting overtaken by Energy Dan quite easily. As you know, Energy Dan having a big comeback race. He was somewhere at the back of the grid during that sprint race, gaining 6 positions already here in this actual race, as we're currently entering a lap 21, or lap 20 actually, out of the 26. We've got the British guy on the tail of the V-cars. We've got a 4-way battle here. Side by side they go. Mr. Wiggles a little bit onto the gravel as he comes back on track. A little bit dangerously, but there was no one alongside him, as Mr. Wiggles definitely had the biggest loss of the evening here after a big incident with Mansell, if I'm not mistaken. And Mr. Wiggles losing 9 positions. He was all the way at the back of the grid. Oh, Thomas is going to get a DM from Dan. Why is that? Why is that? Dan, I feel, you know, looking at the moves he is making, he's just not making the mistake. And the room is not there. Sorry, Dan, for saying, but I mean, it is true. Going into turn 16, he just outbrakes the V-car, pushes him wide, and then the V-car loses 2 positions. So, you know, I mean, it's nothing personal. But he is a P4 right now. I do have to give him that. He's gained 7 positions. The Bear being the biggest winner, though, including British guy. But they can be happy with that early safety car. I feel like Mansell, Calvin Racing, they haven't really been affected by that safety car because they're still technically in P1 and P2. Although Calvin Racing, he's got the Bear still to overtake. But you know, he will make that. Energy Dan is typing. He's racing. He should be racing instead of typing. His lap isn't really looking that impressive either, as he's 7/10 up on his fastest lap. So he should focus on the race. Stick to racing instead of talking. Haha. That is what I would say. Calvin Racing now looking to make the move on the Bear, as it's not looking to work here, as the Bear has that DRS too. But Calvin Racing has some straight line speed alongside the Bear, as I feel like the Bear is a little bit faster into the corners, but Calvin Racing definitely has that setup to go down the straights. The Bear, who didn't leave much room for Calvin right there. Maybe I should stop giving my opinions for some reason. Thomas is gonna get fired on his first comms. Nah, I'm not. Love you, Dan. Here's a heart. I didn't swear yet this race, so that is great. I did swear once coming out of the qualifying session, but you know, I swear every now and then. Why not? Calvin Racing, he's gonna have the DRS, so the Bear is definitely losing time down the main straights, as it's not gonna be able to make them. Maybe we should focus on the back of the grid right now, as we've got Mr. Wiggles in P11, 310s behind Matt G, but Matt G does have that. It's a long DRS straight here. I mean, a long DRS train. We've got Utkarsh without DRS in P7, then we've got the V-Car, Search, Matt G, Wiggles, Doran, Keith, all on DRS, so it's gonna be a lot of drivers with DRS right now, and the more drivers have DRS, the less moves you will be able to see, because it's possibly only going to be 1 or 2 moves on the guy that is actually leading that DRS train, as we're now having an interesting fact here. Search is losing time on Matt G despite having the DRS, so he might be a little bit slower here after. Well, it might be mentally, you know, racing online, actually online racing is mostly done here in your brain. Matt G, oh, there goes Energy Dan, but he gets back on track. He controls his car quite nicely here, as a British guy takes B4. Great job, as Calvin Racing is keeping up with the Mansell. He's got that hard tire runners. Well, my English is so broken tonight, guys. Sorry, you might notice already I'm not an English native, so it's quite difficult for me to make perfect sentence every sentence, if that makes sense. My apologies. I'm trying my best. I'm quite fluid. It's just sometimes it doesn't come out, and tonight it's that night where it doesn't come out properly. My apologies. Utkarsh be pretty close to Dan, as he's looking to make a move. He's not gonna make it stick though. Onto the curb on the exit, as that is gonna be still a P6 for Utkarsh. Dan, who's going to be happy with a P5. Although he's got that penalty, we might want to focus on the penalties real quick. Penalty-wise, we've got 8 seconds for the Bear, 8 seconds for British guy. Utkarsh might be up for a podium here tonight, as we've got a black car in the wall. Is that going to be Doran? Or is that... Yeah, that is going to be Doran, isn't it? That is going to be Doran, unfortunately. But Utkarsh, if he doesn't push too much, he's going to get a podium here. And if he doesn't make any sudden moves or something like that, he's going to get a big podium. British guy who is losing the toe of the Bear here. Wiggles and Matt G were having a heated battle in turn 6, that is. As Matt G retakes P10, retakes what's his. And I remember Matt G being in King of Leagues too. I feel like he was a pretty fast driver, currently only driving in Div 2. So that must mean Div 1 is really fast here tonight. Matt G with another 3-second time penalty as Surge and the V-Car are going side by side through Meggetts and Beggetts. Although Surge did back out of that move. You know what? Going side by side through Meggetts and Beggetts is never a good idea. We saw another driver, I think it was Surge too, who went side by side with someone else. Or was it someone else? I feel like it was a green car for some reason. But yeah, he got spun out, and then unfortunately, you know, if you get spun out, it Meggetts and Beggetts, you're gonna be dead last. As that, of course, you don't want to happen. Matt G now having a little bit of a struggle here right behind the Wiggles. I feel like he does have the pace through Sector 3, but he's just losing time behind Wiggles now. Keith going down the inside of Matt G, that is, into turn 1, but he backs out of the move as Matt G goes too wide into that corner. And are we gonna have a little bit of an interesting last lap battle between the top two? Because Mansell and Calvin Racing, we're not seeing a lot of time drop from Mansell here, as he's able to keep Calvin Racing behind him despite having the slower tires at this moment. Energy Dan, who's making the move down the inside into turn 6, as there is enough room given by both drivers. Good racing from both of them, as I want to be a little bit nicer here to Dan. 310s for Utkarsh, and I don't think he's going to get the podium anyway, because there is a 6.5 second gap to the Bear, and then there is a 1 second gap to Energy Dan, so he really needs to push, or Energy Dan needs to push, and Utkarsh doesn't need to battle any more with British guy and Energy Dan. Neither does he have to push with the V-Car, because he's 1.2 seconds ahead of the... Let me have a quick look what car he drives. AlphaTauri car. AlphaTauri driver, of course. So what is Utkarsh going to do? Oh, we've got Surge making a move down the inside of the V-Car here. Doran, who gets a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately. But we're heading into the last lap of the race, although we are currently in lap 25 out of 26. We've got one more lap after this one. But British guys looking to make a move on Energy Dan again, and this is a battle for a possible P7 if I'm not mistaken. As Search and the Vicar are both gonna get that position on Energy Dan and the British guy. As of course, 8 seconds of time penalty is not great. Wait, Energy Dan has 3 seconds. Oh, it is the Bear who has 8 seconds. Right. Kind of forgot about that. The Bear, he's not gonna get dropped back. I don't think he's going to drop back a position to anyone, because Utkars is more than 8 seconds behind. Let us have a quick look like this. The leader, there is about... Oh no, Utkars, he is... Oh yeah, he's 8 seconds behind. A little more than 8, so he needs to push and get past these guys to be able to get that podium. And the Bear, who is really pushing right now, is probably going to be able to get that podium. But let's focus on the lead of the race. NFC, what are they gonna do with that driver? He's gonna let everyone go through, I can imagine. Or is he just gonna keep up Calvin Racing? Does look like it. NFC, what a dirty guy. I mean, not dirty, but like, what a mastermind. He's gonna let Mansell go through, and then he's just gonna keep up Calvin right now. As you can see, Calvin Racing is not gonna be able to get past NFC anytime soon. And NFC, who isn't actually supposed to be there, is just gonna decide who is gonna win this race. Someone crashed out. That is gonna be Doran again, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a really close battle for P4 here. It's a really close battle for P4. The Bear, who is able to keep up with Calvin and Mansell. I do have to say that. I do have to give him credit for being able to get that fast here in such a short period, because he wasn't that fast at the beginning of the race. Currently, he is. Calvin Racing was 8 tenths behind Mansell. If he can keep up with Mansell here in Sector 2, he might be able to get the DRS to work coming out of Megas and Megas. But in that case, he really... he was indeed leading? No, he wasn't leading. No. It was a glitch. I don't know what it was. Or was he? Wait, I don't... How did he get... No, I don't think... He was glitching. I'm pretty sure he was glitching. Because he had an 8-second gap when the safety car came in. So that doesn't make sense. Lap 11 on restart, he just jumped. I don't know. Assuming he was lapped. Yeah, me too. I don't know what happened. We've got the Bear making that move on NFC. Maybe we need to rewatch the stream or something like that. Mansell, he's gonna take the race win. As we've got Calvin Racing. The room was not there into turn 16. And congratulations to Mansell. As we've got Calvin Racing in P2 and NFS in P3. The Bear takes P4. British guy is going to be in P5, and Utkars is probably going to be in P5 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, indeed he is. Search is going to be in P6. British guy gets pushed back to P8 as Mr. Wiggles takes P7. Matt G in P9. Do we have any close battles here at the back of the grid? Doesn't look like it, as this is going to be the final standings of the night. Energy Dan, who gets pushed back to P12. That is bad for that guy. What car does he run? Energy Dan, he runs the Mercedes. And let's have a quick look at the position changes, guys. 7 positions gained for Calvin Racing, so a good comeback race by the Alfa Romeo driver. Now we've got NFS with an interesting fact, well, with an interesting thing happening here tonight. He was 8 seconds ahead of all the other guys. And I feel like something happened there, but stewards will decide on what has happened there. Maybe they will just rewatch the stream and see there's nothing been done wrong there by the game. Driver of the day is going to be the Bear, as my camera is gone again, because we need to show the standings, obviously. Let's show the podium real quick, because usually I skip that one, but I feel like a lot of guys want to see the podium for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, it is what it is. 3 British drivers on the podium, as that is very common in most leagues, because I feel like most leagues are filled with British guys. You know, you never see a podium filled with German guys or a podium filled with Belgians or Dutch people. Dutch people might be more likely than Germans, or Germans actually no, in PGR I think we once had a German podium. That was a crazy podium, I do have to say that. All right, so here we go. We've got Mansell. This is the race results. Mansell in P1, he's got the fastest lap 2 with a 129.8. Then we've got Calvin Racing in P2 with a 130.1. And NFS in P3. Something we'll be looking there. Well, we will be looking at that to see if he actually got P3 in a legit way, or if the game glitched him or whatever. We will be deciding on that. I'm pretty sure that will be mentioned next week in the stream. And then we've got the Bear in P4 and Utkarsh in P5. Search in P6, Wiggles in P7, British Guy in P8, Maggi in P9, and the Vicar in P10. Keed. Well, further we've got Keed, Energy Dan, Bossy Gaming, Doran, Mark, MCFC, and Mindful Wasp. So congratulations to all those guys. Currently on track, currently on the race, currently everyone who has made it across the line, as that is going to be your Silverstone Grand Prix. And it is nice to see a Silverstone podium, well, a British podium on a British track. So, I mean, as a Belgian, I would love to have a Belgian podium on the Belgian Grand Prix in Spa-Francorchamps, for example. I don't think there is any other track. I feel like, you know, I'm gonna make an opinion. I'm gonna say my opinion. Great Britain should have more tracks on the F1 calendar. There we go. Boom. Is NFS on podium? No idea, Oliver. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I don't know. I feel like the game glitched him. Or did he get it legit? We all missed it in the chat, so we don't know if he actually got the podium here. But I'm gonna give you my opinion real quick. There needs to be more British tracks on the calendar. You know, you've got in every country, you've got only one track. One track. And then, of course, you've got the United States, who've got 3. What is going on? Is this fair? No, it is not. It just brings in money. So that is that. Guys, I'm just going to finish off the stream here. We had a beautiful couple of battles. My English wasn't perfect tonight. I'm a little bit something with the nose. I don't know what it's called. I'm a little bit sick. So you know how is that called? I don't even know the word in Dutch. So you've got the nose that connects with your mouth, right? It like there's a little canal in between there. Sometimes that is stuck with like spit or whatever. I don't know what it is. That's what I have right now, so that's why I talk a lot through my nose. So it doesn't look, it sounds a little bit weird, and it doesn't make me concentrate too much. So my apologies for if the stream was bad. And yeah, guys, I really appreciate you for watching. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure to check out the socials here at the top of your screen. It is the Speed Force Racing socials. I think you guys liked it. I hope you guys liked it. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Hopefully. Depends on whether... Well, I think 2 weeks will work. It depends after those 2 weeks. I'm going to Dublin. And I hope you... Well, I hope I will have the Wi-Fi that's needed to stream. But I will let you guys know. All right. Thank you for being here, Sai. Thank you for being here, everyone else. If you're rewatching the stream, thank you for watching. And I hope you guys liked it. I will see you guys next week. Peace out. The week after. Peace out. In 2 weeks. Bye-bye. Peace out.